Shout goes out to Rise Bennett. It goes as follows. I don't think it's that big a deal, personally. It's obviously temporary and it's a way to shake up the status quo for a bit. Yeah, and that's the thing though. Why does the status quo need to be shaken up? I guess that's my biggest issue with people who have these similar comments. It's like, oh, does you always say it's temporary or it's not a big deal? And it's like, yeah, but why do it then? Like, if it's not a big deal exclusively, then don't do it. But that's just me though. Anyway, moving on. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather giving thanks. Ephesians 5:4. So, Creature Commandos. You know what's crazy? Like, I was very iffy about the show. At first, I was like, it's whatever. Like, I feel like people have this idea about James Gunn. They're like, oh my God, he's perfect for everything involving DC and Marvel or whatever. I'm just like, he made good stuff, sure. But I don't want to just hold that over him just because, yeah. Because personally, I think the show, when it first started off, was kind of whatever. I think it's stupid hanging on to like the ashes of a dead universe, i.e. the DCEU. And I don't like it. Like, I really don't. I wish it would just start completely fresh instead of just like using bits and pieces and bits and assets from it. To me, it makes no sense to hold on to any nostalgia for it because it's kind of like bad idea. At least for the sake of, starting over, quote unquote. But personally, I will say this. Creature Commandos is a little fun. Like, I won't lie to you, there isn't exactly characters I am holding out hope for. There aren't exactly characters I'm really losing it for. Because I don't care about the little weasel guy. I really don't. His tragic backstory is whatever. I don't care, personally. I really don't. The Ms. Frankenstein woman or whatever, I guess, like, whatever. It's cool. And even Frankenstein is even weirder. He's like a stalker now. Yeah, so for context, basically, since Frankenstein and the bride, quote unquote, doesn't age, yeah, essentially the dude just chases her and stalks her throughout the centuries. Yeah, they throw like a little montage in the show. A little bit of context for that. Okay, carry on. I don't get why. Like, I genuinely don't get it. Like, I guess it's like a twist because, Dr. Frankenstein fell in love with one of his monsters. And it's like, okay. Cool. Aside from that, I think it has the cheap animation aesthetic where it's overly detailed but very minimalistic in animation. Actually, it's whatever to me. Using another Rick Flag because you killed off Rick Flag, again, another reason why using an already established universe in your rebooted universe is stupid to me. But yeah, again, I'm trying to not sound like I'm dunking on this movie because I'm really not. Like, personally, it's a cool thing. It's a cool show. I keep doing this in a lot of my videos recently. I keep saying movie when it's a show, and I keep saying show when it's a movie, but y'all get what I'm trying to say. Moving on. Yeah, man, it's cool, I guess. Like, it's a cool show. I don't despise it with a burning passion of 1,000 red suns. I don't hate this thing. I really don't. I just think it's okay so far. Like, they're doing a lot of world building with their mascara. Cool, they're open to the public. No, again, still holding on to the ashes and embers of a dead universe. Stupid decision. I think it's dumb. But we do get to see a lot of interesting characters, like Cersei, cool, I guess. I play a lot of DC Online, so seeing Cersei is like, oh, okay, I know that. I know that person. Yes, I know about the comics, but I don't read Wonder Woman comics too much. Personally, y'all know how I feel about female characters. Like, and again, you could argue, oh, you misogynistic son of a...
A few minutes later.
I don't care. Personally, if I wanted to see women get beat up, call me whatever you want, then I really would be a misogynist. It's just not something that really tickles my fancy as far as action. And it's mainly because like a couple of reasons. It's like when I look at female action scenes, the choreography is always slower. It's always like a lot more mediocre than the male fighting scenes. And I even watch like Star Wars Acolyte to prove my point. I was watching it, one of the notable fight scenes between the twins, and then I saw the fight scene with like the random, Asian Jedi against like the discount Kylo Ren, and that fight scene looked so much better. Like the punches felt realer, the blade slashes felt more impactful, things of that nature. Fighting was more fluid. I don't know what it was. Like, I don't know if they did that on purpose. Like, I don't know if any of these studios do this on purpose. Anyway, that's a random tangent. I'm sorry. Back on topic. Yeah, no. Creature Commandos is fine. It's an okay show. Like, if you like any of these characters, go for it. More power to you. But like, honestly, it's just an okay show. Is it bad? No. Is it full of identity politics? Hell no. That's the one thing I gotta give it credit for, but I feel like saying that feels like so weird now. Cause it's like, it used to be the norm where shows didn't preach at you. Now it's like, oh, it's a commodity. Like, it's like something rare. Like when Reacher dropped, I wasn't expecting it to do that good because I felt like this should be the standard, you know? Shows that have a hypermasculine male character who isn't getting embarrassed and who isn't an idiot, you know? But instead we have shows nowadays where like people are afraid to just be, you know, by the books, you know, be good first and foremost and put quality over quantity. You feel me? Nowadays I feel like saying that now. It's like, oh, damn, you trying to be different? It's like, no, it's like shows nowadays have just been overly preachy ideological bullshit, and I just don't like it that much personally. Creature Commandos, it just, yeah, it's whatever. And by the time of this recording, no, the show is not finished technically. So maybe my thoughts will change when it's finished, and maybe I should have saved this video for that, but I'm like, no. Because like, yeah, my thoughts on it is just like, it's just okay. Like, it's really boring, and a lot of the animation is inconsistent. Like, there was like a lot of scenes, for example, like the Frankenstein woman got put under a spell by Cersei, and in the next episode is perfectly fine. What? There was no explanation. Or like the scene where like the princess, the blonde character, you know, that they're protecting, or at least started off protecting, like she was in a fight scene where like she was bloodied and whatnot, and then a very few milliseconds after in that same fight scene, she's perfectly fine. And I'm like, dude, like, come on now, like put effort into it at least. Like the animation is so literally mid, I can't even like praise it. I can't glaze it. It's just regular like adult animation, you know, where they show a lot of blood, they use a lot of cursing, a lot of swearing to show how mature they are, I guess. And yeah, it's whatever. If you like the Suicide Squad movie, it's gonna be more of that, you know? A lot of forced emotion through flashbacks or whatever. Cool. It's whatever. Like, I just don't care. Like, honestly, it's so boring. And I feel the same way about Agatha, by the way. I might make a Agatha video because like, I genuinely just don't care. Like, I tried to like this movie. I tried to like it. Like, I just don't. I just don't like this show. Like personally, like, it's just so boring to me. Like, the intro's snappy, you know, it's really to the point, you know, it gets me jazzed, you know, like, it makes me think it's gonna be better than it is, but it's shocker, it's not. It's really not. Like, it's just whatever to me. Like, I hate to say that, but it's like, hey man, look, if you want to make something good, blow my socks off. Like, this was just average. Socks still on. I don't know, man. Like, because I feel like people are gonna hate me for hating this, but it's like, I don't even hate it. It's just boring. It's just middle of the road. It's just whatever to me. The comedy doesn't land for me most of the time in this movie. In this show, I keep doing that. The comedy just doesn't land for me. The humor doesn't do it for me. I just don't care. Like, a lot of the characters I just don't care for, especially when you look at the fact that these are the rejects of the Suicide Squad. And the reason why is stupid, which is why I say again, using an already established universe for your rebooted universe is dumb. Now we can't have Task Force X for some reason, because why? Because apparently this is picking up after the last Suicide Squad movie. Like, bro, I don't care, bro. Like, I just don't care. And I hate that I don't care. Because I've tried so many times to like this show, to really get what people hype it up about. And I'm like, maybe it's my taste in humor. Maybe it's because my bar is set a bit too high, you know? I'm using well-established characters and well-known characters that I can get behind. It's just not hitting for me with these characters. Like, they're just not hitting with me. I don't feel for the Bride. I don't feel for Frankenstein. I don't feel for Weasel. I don't feel for the radioactive dude who literally causes like unsolicited freaking vasectomies just by standing near him. It's just like whatever. Like, even being around him long term is not good for your health overall, but no one touches on it, even though there are characters that are clearly around him for longer than a few minutes, but whatever. Carry on, I guess. Do your thing. It's just, you know, the show's a no for me. Like, is it good? Sure. Why not? Is it great? No, it's not. But yeah, I watch every episode, so if that isn't counting for something, I don't know what is. Bro, y'all won't hate me for this video, but honestly, that's just my honest thoughts on the show. It's just okay to me, and maybe that's okay. It's okay to have a show that's just okay. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.